that are watching the replay, if you like what you hear and you want more information, where I'm getting the bulk of our information is from the book Atomic Habits. We're doing a book study on atomic habits. But if you want additional resources, hey, Robert, and you like what you hear, then you can text the word mastery to 833-231-4407, or you can DM me to get more details or get more free resources. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, even though it looks like we don't have our normal crew on. It's okay. They can catch the replay, but I want to be respectful of our 30 minutes that we have here together. I liked what we talked about yesterday because yesterday was a lot about theory. It was a lot about science. It was a lot about all of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes in order for us to be able to create better habits for ourselves and also continue to stay on track. Hey, Rotunda. Hey, Gemstone. So today, I like this book because it switches back and forth between strategy and theory and all of the things. And today he's going to talk about a strategy. We're actually on chapter 13 right now. Remember, there are a few chapters. You say, you ready for the 30 minutes? There are actually a few chapters that I've chosen to skip because I feel like the message behind Yashika's intuition is one in which I kind of am very aligned with him. So I talk about it all the time. So I want to give you another strategy for you to start to implement these things that are going to make your life better. But before I do that, I want to know how you ladies are doing. Primarily, I see ladies commenting. So let me know how you're doing. Since we've been doing these live streams, it's been about 2.5 weeks. You have some very concrete information about the science behind how you make change and create habits, but you also have some theories. So I'm just wanting to know, are you starting to, make this second half of 2021 better than it was the first half of 2021? Let me know how you're doing. You can leave me a comment. You could DM me if you want to talk to me privately about it. But again, the reason why I'm doing this is because there are so many people that struggle. Number one, I want to take away an excuse. A lot of times when we're trying to make change in our life and when we want our lives to be better, and we get started on a track and then we get off track and we get frustrated or we get overwhelmed. And so we give up on ourselves and we just get in this cycle, this hamster wheel over and over, and we never make the changes that we want to make. A lot of times we bring excuses upon ourselves. And one of the excuses that people like to use is that they don't know what to do. They don't know how to get started. They don't know how to make tasks less overwhelming. And I feel like with the tactics and the strategies in this live stream, we have been able to learn some fundamental information over these 2.5 weeks that we've been together in order for us to be able to make changes in our life. So I'm taking apart the concept that you don't know what to do. You don't know how to get started because you now have the information. Actually, I have taught you everything that you need to know in these 2.5 weeks to not only get on track if you're off track, but to stay on track, to understand yourself, to understand why sometimes when you try to create a better life for yourself, why it may have not worked for you, but to also get all of this information so it can give you grace and give you understanding and give you knowledge and education and wisdom so that you now know what you need to do. But the number one thing that I notice when people are trying to make changes in their life and they don't make them, it is not that you don't know what to do. Even if you say you don't know what to do, if you could stop and you could think about that one change that I've talked to you about trying to make and create those little habits to, take you closer to this goal or this change that you want to make. If you stopped and you thought about it, even if you don't know how to, flesh out how it can totally all come together, if I was to ask you the one thing that you could do right now to get you in the direction that you want to start to move in, I bet you could tell me exactly what it is that you need to do. So the thing that is getting in your way is not all of the information usually. It's not all of the knowledge. It's not for a lack of understanding or having the information that you need to get started, especially now. It's about you actually taking action. There is always this big gap between the things that we know that we need to do for ourselves to move in the right direction versus what we are willing and able to do in order to actually make things happen. And usually we know, but we just don't want to do what we need to do. So you simmer on that one for a minute. I'm going to read the comments here. Amir said it's divine timing that I'm here right now. Hey, Amir. Rotunda, paying more attention to what gives me off track and learning prioritizing. So now this is where I want you ladies and gentlemen to elevate what we're talking about. You know now that you need to be aware. You know now the things that are going to get you off track. You know how your brain works. You know how habit works. You know the science behind all of this. And then learning how to prioritize. You now know how to do that and how you can just move forward and make it your goal to get better 1% every day. So you know. So these are things you know. So I want us to start to shift into, well, what are we doing about it? Because it's not going to matter if you're showing up for these lives and you're getting all the information and you feel like you're getting these aha moments. What people that are successful do when they're learning is they take the information and they quickly integrate it into their life. When I read a book, I'm not reading the book only for knowledge. I'm reading the book and I will quickly, within 24 hours, implement something that I have learned into my life. It may be a fail, it may not work, it may need to be tweaked, but it may happen to be one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. And I just need to check and adjust it. But what I know for sure is that I've also been that person that is addicted to self-help and learning everything I need to do to become a better person. Because what are you getting? You're getting that dopamine spike. You're getting that inspiration. But again, when it comes to taking an action, we also have to do that part too. So this chapter is going to give you a strategy for that. Let's see, Gemstone says, so far, it has motivated her to actually follow through on things. That's amazing. Robrett's been doing well. She's feeling empowered and inspired. She sees a little shift in thinking and action. Good girl. And I feel good about the direction I'm going in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Raven. I do have to catch up on a few replays because work got in the way. Yeah, catch up on some replays because there's been a lot of discussions, especially the theory discussions, because I think that a lot of people haven't been taught why we try to do something and we fail and the science behind that. And for those of you in the membership, the spirituality behind that and how these two things go hand in hand for if you want to manifest in your life. If you've heard of the law of attraction and how you can attract things into your life, if you do what this book tells you to do, you are on your way to being able to not only make your life better, but also start to attract in abundance. But you have to put it into action. So today, his technique that we're going to be talking about is how to stop procrastinating by using a 2-minute rule. And what he points out in this chapter is that every day when we start off our day, it starts off with various decision points. And some of these decision points that we have to make throughout the day are not as impactful, but then some of the decisions that we make as we start our day are very decisive moments. And so, for instance, when you get up and you get out of bed, that usually for a lot of people is a decisive moment. The first decisive moment are you going to honor the fact that your time is limited and get up and out of bed so that you can start to move forward with excitement around the goals that you want to accomplish? Or are you one of those people that is going to hit snooze and kind of lay in bed a little bit, maybe grab your phone, check your email, do all of those things before you even get out of bed? Or for some people, it's, I know Sierra earlier, she was talking about she wanted to start working out in the morning. So a decisive moment for her in the morning is, okay, when my feet hit the ground and I, get freshened up, is the first thing that I'm going to do, sit on the couch, watch TV or grab some coffee? Or am I going to put on my workout clothes and am I going to do what I said I was going to do and go work out? These are decisive moments. A lot of times, the mistakes that we make, I've been guilty of this, is that we feel like because it's not an urgent decision and because it's not, immediately impacting our life, it's not life or death, we feel like, okay, well, maybe today I don't feel like doing that, so I'll just do it tomorrow. Or, you think about something inspirational this week, and right now it's Wednesday, so you say, all right, I'm just going to get my life together on Monday. We tend to put things off. And once you start your day on a track where you started to not have that integrity and you started to put things off, what happens is it usually will lead you down a choice track, a decision track where, okay, then the next choice is, okay, so then what are you going to eat for breakfast? Are you going to eat something bad or good? So you've already dishonored yourself by, let's say, you didn't get out of bed right away. You scrolled your phone, you kind of push the snooze button. So you're dragging a little bit. You get out of bed. It's time to eat breakfast. You can do something healthy like fruit or whatever. I don't know. Or you could choose something that's a little more comfort foody, but you probably shouldn't have it. Usually, you start to go down this spiral of making other decisions. I'm not going to say always bad decisions, but decisions that aren't in line with what it is that you want to do. And as you make these micro decisions throughout the day, whether you know it or not, you are shaping the way that your day looks, to where when you get to the end of the day, you're going to be able to say, well, did I have a good day or a bad day? And good or bad, I'm saying good is, were you more in alignment with the person that you wanted to be? Did you make choices like the person that you want to be would? Did you feel the way that person did? Did you think? Did you make decisions like that person did? And if you can go through your day, you're going to say, no, I didn't. So if you didn't, then you can count that as a bad day. The difference between a good day and a bad day is often a few productive and healthy choices made at decisive moments. And each time you come to this fork in the road in your day, you have the choice whether you're going to move in the direction of your goal or not move in the direction of your goal. And as these choices stack up throughout the day, they lead to very different outcomes. The real key here is what we talked about very early in the beginning of this book, is learning how to pick the habits that are going to automatically lead you more toward those decisions that are going to be closer to your outcome than not. But some of us still don't do that. We still don't correlate that all you need to do if you want to be successful in life is, when you come to these small decision points, is you just choose to do something that's closer to your goal. It is no harder to make a decision. Now, sometimes the action may feel harder because you're trying to do something that you haven't done in a while, and that is temporary. But it is no harder for you to decide at each moment in time when you come to this fork in the road, am I going to choose myself? Am I going to choose my goal? Or am I going to continue to dishonor myself by choosing something other than what goes in the direction of where I want to go? So one of these rules that he says you can implement to help make this easier for you if you are feeling overwhelmed, or if you feel like you really have to gather a lot of energy to move forward. Remember how I taught you guys earlier, you shouldn't rely on motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings go like this. And if you rely on your feelings for anything in life, you are more likely to have these ups and downs in your life. But if you can find your steady centering, it's going to be a lot better and a lot easier for you to accomplish your goals. So when you want to have motivation in life, if you've ever taken a physics class in high school, you have to create motivation. And so creating motivation towards something that is very hard. Like, for instance, for me, I used to be a runner, and then I got very, very sick, and I could not do a lot of physical activity. So just trying to get back into the groove of actually being physically active has been probably my biggest struggle that I've had in the past 5 years. It's been a rough road. I'm going to be totally point blank honest with you. So for that type of an inertia, there's a lot of force that has to happen in order to really overcome the paradigms and the beliefs and the self-identity of someone that wasn't able to do physical activity and is now able to do it, but now has to create that able to create that momentum. Guys, hold on. So if you are in the spot, like I've been in the spot, I'm a little better now, but then the 2-minute rule is when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes for you to do. So if you feel like you're struggling with the things that you need to do, he's saying that you could take any of those habits. So let's just backtrack for those of you that have not listened to all the lives. The first thing you want to do is think about a goal that you want to accomplish. I would specifically like you just to pick, if you struggle with goals, if you struggle with goal setting, I would particularly like you to pick a goal, one goal for the next 90 days that you want to accomplish. Once you pick that goal, I want you to pick 3 habits that will get you step by step closer to accomplishing the goal. So for someone like me that's trying to get healthy, then maybe my goal would be to be able to run a mile without stopping. So one of my goals is to run 5 times a week. The other goal may be to eat healthy, so on and so forth. So pick your big goal, but then you're going to pick these small little habits in that goal in order for you to just get started, because we're thinking about these micro steps. We want to make things attractive so that we can stick with them. So then he's saying when you pick these little habits that you're going to try to implement in your life, that you should scale them down into a 2-minute version. So if you have this aspiration, I think one of you, maybe Brett, wanted to play her instrument daily. Then instead of looking at your instrument and thinking it's overwhelming because you have to sit there and play for 30 minutes and you're just not in the mood, he's saying it becomes, I'm just going to play for 2 minutes and see how that goes. Or maybe for those of us that are wanting to start to work out, then it's, I'm just going to work out for 2 minutes. Brett said sing. Singing for you, if you want to start to practice your singing and 30 minutes is overwhelming, 15 minutes is overwhelming, so you find yourself not doing it, then I'm just going to work on singing for 2 minutes. I'm just going to fold laundry for 2 minutes. I'm just going to clean up for 2 minutes. Do you see how you can make this a part of your life? Just breaking these things down into small increments. You want to make things as easy as possible to start, because what you are going to find is that this is going to be what you need to scientifically create the momentum and possibly the inspiration that you need to get started and stay going. You often find that once you get in the habit of doing your little 2-minute increments, that sometimes you're going to have this day where you're just like, well, you know what, I'm here. It's going good. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to do a little longer. That will be a natural process that unfolds. And so I think you'll get hyped and excited and know what I'm talking about. When I say that you are the creator of the momentum in your life by just breaking these things down into small 2-minute increments. He says strategies like this also work because they reinforce the identity that you want to build. It forces you to show up for yourself. So if you are the lady or the gentleman, not your old self that's here on the live, your new self, the self that you want to be, that identity that we've talked about that you're going to create for yourself and then act like that identity, become that identity. You show up for yourself as that person, because if you say that you're going to sing, or you say you're going to read, or be more organized or clean, or do any of these things, even if you don't do them for a long period of time, even if you only do it for the 2 minutes that he recommends, guess what you're doing? The hard part for a lot of you is showing up for yourself. And this forces you to show up for yourself, which forces you to inherently, even if it's only for a couple minutes, step into that identity of your ultimate self. You're doing what that person would do. You're thinking how that person would think. You're feeling what they would feel. You are making decisions how this person would feel, and making decisions how they make decisions. And what this does is it slowly starts to put you in place or align you with the energy that's going to help your shifts to the person that you want to become, and the shifts toward accomplishing your goals become more easy. So you show up for yourself. That is the number one reason why this is effective. It starts to have you create momentum, and it starts to have you show up as your new self and start to reinforce the identity that you are wanting to create, the person, the ideal person, your higher self that you want to become. And it gets to become easier and easier the more that you do it. All right, so I see comments. I'm excited. Let's see. Let's scroll back and see what we're doing. Let's see. Robert said a light is coming through at the end of the tunnel. A little of both. So Robert, you a little of lounging in bed and then getting up and taking charge. All right. Start an exercise light to moderate thing. Let's see. Gemstone said, how can goal setting be applied to making meditation a priority? Do you have an example if you don't mind? I sure do. So first of all, if you don't make meditation a priority, this is what you do. You decide that you are the type of woman where meditation is a priority in your life. So that is the number one thing that you do. You have to make a decision. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in, people are able to make decisions, or let's just even talk about how we make decisions for ourselves. We're able to make decisions, but we don't have any integrity about the decisions that we make, and so we back out of it. So I'm going to start to invite you all that if you make a decision that something is going to be a priority in your life, then that is a decision. And so you start to move forward for that decision. So that's the number one thing you can do. If meditation is a priority in your life, then you have decided today that that is a decision. So it's a priority. So that's number one. If what I'm saying to you sits a little uneasy, like, oh my God, what did I do? Or it doesn't feel aligned, maybe meditation is not a priority for you, and that's okay. Because sometimes society, conditioning, people, everything that's trending is going to tell you that meditation is awesome. Meditation is awesome, but where you are in your life right now, it may not be a priority, and that is okay. There may be other pressing things that are going on in your life. So make the decision that meditation is going to be a priority in your life. Number two, I'll tell you what I did when I first started meditating. I did not just sit in quiet, although now I am able to do that. I listened to guided meditations. I felt like that was something that kept me structured and kept me present instead of me trying to learn how to train my own brain to sit with my thoughts. So in the guided meditation, we've all done it, right? Even if you try to listen to what they're saying, your mind drifts off and you start just thinking about things. That is normal. Do not beat yourself up about it. You're not doing anything wrong. However, what you can also do is once you find a meditation practice that works for you, then again, if you want to do it the way I did it with the guided meditations, I would actually, when I felt that I was getting distracted, I would repeat what the person was saying. So if they were like, imagine yourself on a beach, in my head quietly, I would be saying, imagine yourself on a beach. That way it would make me listen because I would have to, in my head, repeat what they said. It just kept me more present in the moment. And after a while, you get trained to do this and you don't have to do it anymore. So the second thing I would say, if you want to make meditation as priority, is find a type of meditation that is attractive to you. I have a meditation class. I don't know if I have it on my site anymore. It was very affordable, but it taught you about different types of meditation. And then you got a short meditation that you could do in moments where you just needed to kind of relax, especially anxious at work. You need to just step away, go in the bathroom, listen to something that's just going to get you together. And then it had a little bit of a longer meditation. I think it was like a 15-minute meditation. So do that. So then the third thing, Gemstone, that you could do, I really like what he said in this 2-minute thing, is don't make it a big deal where you need to sit there for 15 minutes, where you need to sit there for 20 minutes. Start off with the 2 minutes, like he said. Just make it a priority to just show up for yourself. I would make it the same time, same place, every day, and I would just do my 2 minutes. And after I did my 2 minutes, fine. But if you were in that 2-minute space and it started to feel good and you didn't want to get up, then don't get up. But at least you're showing up for the 2 minutes. There was one other thing that I wanted to say about that. So 2 minutes every day. I will tell you though, specifically for meditation, scientifically, if you can push it to at least 7 minutes, then that's going to be more ideal for you. But again, that's the way that I would do that. Let's see. Robert says she started. Did you start singing, Robert, or working out? Meditation is a struggle, but I want to stop putting it off and not give up on it because I know it's beneficial. Tell me specifically what's the struggle with meditation. Because the first thing that you have to realize is that in Gemstone, you may not have watched the beginning videos that we used to do, but we talked about you shifting the way that you self-identify, your self-image. So like right now, you may identify yourself as, hey, I'm Gemstone and meditation is a struggle for me. Versus if you stepped into a different identity, you would say, hey, I'm Gemstone and I meditate. And if you started to see yourself in a different light, not try to change the behavior, but just take on a different identity, one of someone that meditates, is going to make it easier for you to do some of the things that you want to do. So Gemstone, if you said, I'm Gemstone and I'm spiritual, then if you identified yourself as a spiritual person, you probably are going to inherently start to align with different things in your life that make you more spiritual. But when you try to just change the behavior without changing your belief system and the way that you identify yourself, it's much, much harder to do that as well. And so maybe going back and listening to the discussions we've had about identity shifting may help you as well. That's the number one thing that I work with my clients for weeks. We just go hard on identity shifting, because if you don't learn to see yourself in a different way and you are still trying to change a behavior from who you are currently, it's going to be a struggle. I'm not even gonna lie. It's going to be a struggle. If you're trying to eat healthy and I'm Sheikah and I'm trying to eat healthy versus I'm Sheikah and I'm a Sheikah and I'm a health nut, it's going to be a totally different energy when you show up for yourself every day. Oh, okay. Let's see. Roberta, I've even started back with my singing lessons. Good job. Gemstone, or just going inward, period. That's my number one goal setting priority. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense, but it's not hard. The first thing is you just make a decision. Once you make a decision, you have to learn how to make your word your bond. If it's not to other people in your life, it's to yourself. You have to learn to be someone with integrity and someone with conviction and someone with persistence, to say that if you say that you're going to do something, you do it. And if you don't want to do it, and if you know that you're not in a space that you can do it, then don't say you're going to do it. There's no right or wrong in this. But when you are thinking that there's a right and wrong because of what other people around you are doing, or you know it's right for you, but you know it's not the right time, that's when you start to make it easier for you to create a habit of failure in your life. And when you do that consistently, you hardwire in your brain that, hey, whenever I tell myself I'm going to do something and I don't do it, it's okay. So we have to learn that when we are making decisions, we should not take decision making lightly, especially things that we want to commit to or things that we want to say are a priority in our life. And I love, Gemstone, that you brought that up, because we all do it. Like I already told you guys, my struggle is the health thing. I have repeatedly said that, that was going to be a priority in my life. And it took me many years to finally start to act in a way in which it actually was a priority. I said it was a priority. It was a nice thing for me to do. I knew I needed to do it, but let's be honest, I was not at the mental space. I was not identifying myself with someone that was healthy. I wanted to have donuts and I wanted to not go and work out. And so until I can be honest for myself and learn how to do the things I need to do, think the way I need to think, make decisions the way I need to make, and feel the way I need to feel in order to be a healthy person, it's not going to happen. It might happen for a little while, but then I give up on myself. And so I love that you put that up. I get up, but I still won't do what I said sometimes. Yeah. You said, wow, the decision part. I'm going to go journal on that right after we get off the live. I love that answer. I need the class you spoke of. I'll send you the link for that. Robrette is starting a virtual beginner ballet class. Amen. You are just taking all kinds of actions. Gemstone, I made me a little altar to sit in lotus position and do it, but I struggle with the showing up. Thank you for the tips. I'll repeat with the guided meditation and sitting through. And again, for right now, your goal may not be the meditation. Your goal may be showing up for yourself. So 2 minutes is all you got to do, is just get to your altar for 2 minutes, show up for yourself. And when you're able to show up for yourself consistently, then maybe you can start doing it for 3 minutes and then 4 minutes and then 5 minutes. But right now, to get 1% better every day, Gemstone, your goal may be just to do it for 2 minutes. Let's see what else. Keeping it a habit. I'll do it once out of 3 months, and then the breathing even feels awkward. Yeah. All right, let's see. Over here, Ratana says, showing up for yourself. Yeah, it's really all about showing up for yourself. And again, right now, you guys, it's so hard for us to show up for ourselves sometimes when we've disappointed ourselves or when we've given up for ourselves. And so what you need to just learn from this book, if nothing else, is you are not approaching life anymore from who you are now. You are approaching this life from the person that it is that you want to be. You are approaching life from, if you thought about somebody that you respected, how would they approach life? If you can't see it through your own eyes, see it through the eyes of somebody that you respect. How would they make decisions? How would they show up for themselves? How would they do things, feel, think? How would they walk? What would they eat? How would they talk? How would they dress? The more that you can do this, the easier it's going to be for you to leave behind your old self and start to step into this higher form of yourself. Ratana said, I'm happy I made this meeting. My goal is to remember this class, to listen and focus. Yeah, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Although Friday was light last week, I'm going to do it again this Friday. But if Fridays are light, we may go from Monday through Thursday. But for this week, Monday through Friday. Let's see. Many days, my form of meditation is just being quiet and turning off all social. Amen. Sometimes it is just being still. And meditation is, you said, communing with God, right? So think about it this way. I think, maybe I heard this listening to Joyce Myers, because I listen to her a lot. She said that, some of us don't even take time to pray, right? Or take time to think about what we want and put that intention out there. So that's a whole nother broadcast, but we'll close on this idea. But some of us are praying. We are asking for help. We are wanting to change. We are wanting answers and help and guidance. And we do want to tap into that intuitive information, that perceptive information that is going to help give you the answers when you just can't seem to find them in your outer world. So that's the prayer part. But this is what she said. I think she said it. A lot of us don't make time for the meditation. And what the meditation is for you to be able to receive the answers for the prayers that you put out there. So the answers could be right in front of you. Spirit could be trying to talk to you. Everything you need is right there and it's yours for the taking. But if you can't sit still to do the meditation, then it's going to be harder for you to hear those answers for the prayers that you put out. So we'll end with that. All right. So Again, if you struggle with this, the implementation is what people usually struggle with, then you know that I'm here to help you. I take private clients. You can reach out to me if you want to learn more about that. The other way that you can work in this type of an energy is by joining the Personal Mastery membership. The price will be raising at the end of this month. So if you want to get in right now and not when the price almost doubles, then I can send you information about that as well. Also, Gemstone, that the meditation class is not in the membership, but it was really affordably priced. I think it was like under $10. So I'll send you the link for that when we get off the call, if that's something that you're interested in. Again, you get the class and then you get a couple meditations. But very rich discussion, everybody. Thank you for coming on live. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. All right, talk to you later. Bye.